Good morning. Welcome to our town at Comma Coffee. I'm Kurt Caraway. This morning we're going to be talking with Plemel, who is the Carson City Planning Director. Right now we're going to take a short break for a word from our sponsor.
The Carson Mall has exciting shopping. All this and more at the Carson Mall.
And we're back talking with Plemel. How are you doing?
Good morning. Good.
All right. Well, you've had some exciting things going on in your apartment because you just moved to a new facility there at the old Fireside building, which is across, is it Proctor Street from City Hall? So you're right close to City Hall and everything. How's that working out?
It's working out good. It's a good combination. We used to be about 2 miles down the road in North Carson City on North Gate, detached from other facilities, not really close to City Hall, and for business license purposes, not close to the Secretary of State's office. And so it's been really great being closer, really convenient. I've spent less time in the car each week traveling between meetings now.
Yeah, because I guess you do have a few meetings there at City Hall for different things, and I know from just going and doing the business license thing here several months ago that having all this stuff together, the Secretary of State's office across the street, I mean you're all in that one space there. I mean that makes it a lot easier for businesses to really kind of get what they need, right?
It's a good combination of uses. Just to let everybody know what planning is, and the Permit Center is now part of what we're calling the Business Resource Innovation Center, or BRIC for short. It includes the Permit Center, which is planning, building department for building permits, business license, and engineering information. That's the upstairs Permit Center, and downstairs is the Office of Business Development and Library Business Resource Center. But it's a real good combination of uses, whereas in the past people have to go to different, or there might not be the communication between trying to bring the businesses in and letting them know what the requirements are. Been a little disconnect in the past there, so hopefully that really kind of brings it all together.
Yeah, and I know that the Resource Center for the library stuff, they have the research information, they have computers set up, and conference rooms, and some other things that people who are starting businesses can use.
Yeah, and they have that. They also have their partner organizations like the Nevada Small Business Development Office, and they're currently, or previously, they have an office. Their main office is actually at UNR, but now they actually have a person, Kathy Halberton, who comes down and actually mans this. So she's able to give business help in Carson City now, which is a really great thing. And they're working with other partnerships with Arts Coalition and Northern Nevada Development Authority, so it's a good one-stop location.
All right. Well, we're going to take a short break right now and come right back after a word from our sponsor.
The Carson Mall has fantastic food. All this and more at the Carson Mall.
And we're back talking with Plemel. How are you doing?
Good.
The one thing, I went to a little program they had when they opened up this Business Resource Innovation Center, and one of the things they talked about was that a lot of people, when they start businesses, one of the first things they do is they go and rent a building or buy a building. It's like, and they don't even know where they need to go, and having all these things, all these, the business license and all that all in one place really does kind of help, may help businesses start a little bit better and not get off on the wrong foot.
Definitely, and that was certainly one of the driving forces of of combining those different uses, the Office of Business Development and permit center, so that there's a closer link between the businesses starting and, like you said, going out and buying buildings, and then maybe finding out later all the building code requirements, or perhaps even what we've had from the planning side, that that's not the right use in that zoning district.
Right.
And so hopefully that relationship and communication happens earlier in the process.
Because that can be a big surprise. Somebody suddenly they think they can open a restaurant someplace, and like, well, maybe not.
Yeah. So hopefully this eliminates some of that. I mean, I think we'll always be dealing with some issues like that.
Yeah. Now, your department specifically, planning. I mean, I think maybe some people, unless they've actually dealt with it directly, may not understand exactly what that does. So maybe you can give people a little better idea of it. So
we're often the catch-all for phone calls as well as to what's going on in the city, but that are not necessarily specific to our department. But planning, what we deal with most often is the current planning, zoning, development of commercial and multifamily projects. So it's really part of the permit building process for not single-family houses, but commercial and multifamily things. And we do the review for zoning and things with that. And that's kind of the nuts and bolts, the daily kind of what we do most of the time. Also, all reviews of subdivisions that come in and larger development type of things that require public review are usually all processed through the planning department. And of course we work closely with other departments, like transportation has their own transportation planning, but they coordinate with us on issues.
So any of the bigger developments and stuff like that, they have to go through this process, and some of that can take a little bit of time, I guess. So
if it's a public process, it can take a little more time, but it's also what a lot of people don't see in the public that don't go to the Planning Commission or Board of Supervisors is just commercial projects that get built by right. They're getting building permits, and we're reviewing that for city codes, both building codes and planning, zoning codes.
I mean, I guess planning's one of those things that people don't really notice until something bad is done.
Right. and as I was saying, it's kind of the permitting is our daily task that we're really spending most of our time on. What people think of planning, when you kind of just think about it, is more long-range planning stuff, and I think we certainly need to keep doing that, even though there's not a lot of there's not a lot of development coming in right now. There's not a lot of new stuff. There's some remodels and things, but there's not a lot of new stuff. But we continue thinking that it's not always going to be this bad, and we need to keep planning for the future.
Because now the size of that department, has gone down over the past few years because of during 2005 and stuff, you were probably just barely catching up with all the stuff coming in.
Right.
And now it's
with a lot. You can see it in all the subdivisions that we had approved about 4 years ago now that are all coming up towards expiration and getting extensions, but there's something close to around the neighborhood of 2,000 subdivision lots that have been, probably a little less than that, but that have been approved tentatively, but that are not coming in for the final maps because of there's no market obviously for them to come in and create those lots and start building houses. So we'll see what happens in the next couple of years, if they stay valid or some of those may go away and have to start over.
So the size of your department also drops too, like you've had,
Yeah, we certainly planning alone, we're down 50% of what we were 2 or 3 years ago now, and which allows us to fit all these uses in this brick building now again, and all combined there. But there's no short-term plans to expand, but hopefully someday the economy comes back.
Yeah, well, we all hope it comes back here and get some more things. But of course, people think that Carson City's already kind of built out, but there's still a few out there that can build. So.
Sure. In fact, our planning for our water and transportation plans and everything is for a population of about 75,000, and we're at about 56, 57 now.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming on and talking with us. Thank you for tuning in to Our Town at Common Coffee. We will catch you next time.
The Carson Mall has excellent services. and more at the Carson Mall.